Spanish language broadcast is available today on Fox Deportes. And so the Lions will kick it off. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Thanks for joining us today. Well, let's get this going. Keyshawn Nixon, one of the most electric returners in the game, is back deep for Green Bay, and here we go. This one, though, he'll let sail over his head, and so the Packers will start on the 25-yard line with Jordan Love. As you talked about, he's starting to play a lot better these last few weeks.
He really has, and I think that's where the optimism lies for this Packers organization. They knew there'd be some ups and downs. There is no team in the NFL, Kev, that relies on more first and second year players than this Green Bay offense, primarily at the skill positions. They've all started to kind of find their groove these last couple weeks. He's coming off his best performance of his young career last week in the come-behind win against LA.
Start with A.J. Dillon in the backfield, but it's a fake. Love protected. Love going deep. Christian Watson, the intended receiver, and he's got it. A big play up top on the first play. And what a start for these Packers. Watson for 53.
Well, I think they were listening to our open on camera. They said they got to throw it deep, early, and often. Christian Watson has kind of had an up and down season. He's their big play threat down the field. Ball slightly underthrown, but those are the contested catches they need out of this young receiver group, and wow, what a way to start the day.
So they take the ball after winning the coin flip. They go up top for 53 yards to start it off. Throwing again. Love over the middle. Watson again gets decked, but hangs on and gets down to the 14-yard line. 2 catches for Watson already. His max in a game this year is 3. And they're going to need him today because their offense is banged up beyond belief today. No Aaron Jones, Greg, Emmanuel Wilson, their backup back is out. Luke Musgrave, the starting tight end, they're all out today.
Yeah, and I think the combination of the backs injuries you just covered and how good this Detroit Lions team is, top 5 in the league against the run, a lot of today is going to be shouldered by the right arm of Jordan Love.
Here's A.J. Dillon, right side, just powering his way through, and Dillon trucking for a first down. Down around the 10, it should be a first down. This Lions defense is interesting. They've been pretty good for most part this year. They've had a couple bumps along the way, but they've come a long way since the beginning of last year.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing, is in comparison to how through halfway of last season, they were pretty much at the bottom of the league in pretty much every significant category. Their rapid improvement and growth over the last year and a half is a big key to why the team's success has followed. As you said, they've had a few bumps in the roads in some games where they've given up 35 points.
On a first and goal, it's A.J. Dillon, right side, and runs right into a tackle, and down he goes as Tracy Walker was there.
Trying to use the young rookie receiver Jaden Reed as the lead blocker, and it's a well-designed play. They're trying to bring him. He's the extra run fit, and he just runs right by the safety. If he finds and he gets eyes up there earlier on Tracy Walker, that thing might have been a touchdown.
Second and goal. 4-man rush, quick over the middle, caught. Reed is in for the touchdown. What a start for the Packers. A 10-yard score to Jaden Reed.
Well, we see Jaden Reed's role in this team. He's not there to make lead blocks in the hole, KB. He's there to make contested catches in the red zone. Just a little inside one-step slant. You can't throw this ball any better. Look at the ball placement right between the ones, right off the ear of Christian Watson. And we knew the passing game would have to be a big element today to keep pace with Detroit. And boy, Matt LaFleur wins the toss, takes the ball, and they come out firing.
Anders Carlson for the point after, and it's good. Wow. Packers take that toss, they win it, and then they go up top to Christian Watson for 53 on the first play, and then Jordan Love surgical to Jaden Reed, and it's 7-0. Packers today. We're certainly thinking of you all today, and glad we could join your family celebration here in Detroit. Packers get the opening kickoff. They go right down the field. Christian Watson right there had more yards on that drive than in 6 of his 7 games played this year. That's a big deal. They've been trying to get him going, and they sure do to start. Now Detroit, see how they answer. It's Khalil Dorsey from his own end zone with a good seam, and Dorsey up across the 25, and that's where we'll see the Lions and this explosive offense. They're number 2 in the NFL, Greg, and I know you love the way they put it all together.
Yeah, I got to say, this is my favorite type of style offense in the league. I think Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator, along with Jared Goff, I mean, look at them. Over their last 20 games, no team in the league has won more than the Detroit Lions. I'm not sure how many people realize that. Jared Goff continues to play at a high level. Turnovers have been slightly an issue over the last couple weeks, but a little interesting formation here, starting with the offensive lineman in the backfield.
Yeah, go jumbo here. David Montgomery, the back. Give it to Montgomery. And he gets not much, maybe a yard. Preston Smith was in to take care of him. And so this offense, so explosive in many different ways. Jared Goff playing great, but, you know, Amon-Ra St. Brown, one of the real gems that was kind of a secret for a while. Now he's one of the top players in the league.
Yeah, and it's just remarkable, the consistency week in, week out. Operates a ton in the slot where you see him here, the top of the screen. He is just such a dynamic weapon, operating both inside and outside for this offense.
Second down, going to run it again. Montgomery tries to get to the edge. It's played well by Green Bay. Jonathan Owens from the secondary came up to make the stop for this Packers D. And Greg, we told you their offense was banged up. Their defense is a mess today with injuries. They've got 3 of their starters in the secondary out. Devondre Campbell, their best linebacker, out. So we'll see how they hold up.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the question, is how does Joe Barry decide to play this style of offense? We know they're big in the run game, but it's the play-action pass that really gets you. So you have to be careful how many guys you remove from coverage to commit to the run game.
Here's Goff on 3rd down over the middle, and he's got Williams. Jamison Williams on the cross has a first down.
You see Jamison Williams starts on the right side, and he's going to run a drag. Quay Walker, the inside backer, has to do a better job getting hands on him. They're asking the corner, Valentine, to run all the way across on that mesh concept, and the speed of Jamison Williams, he's just going to run away from him.
Run it again with Montgomery. Not much there. Well, you look at, we're talking about all the injuries for Green Bay. It is, I mean, they had 17 players on the inactive list today. Here are some of the big names. Aaron Jones, maybe your top playmaker, your top tight end in Musgrave, your top cornerback in Alexander, your best linebacker in Campbell. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, remember at the trade deadline, they traded Rasul Douglas to Buffalo because of the ascension of Carrington Valentine, thinking he'd play opposite Jair Alexander. So this secondary is going to be stretched today.
Here's Goff looking for Jahmyr Gibbs on the wheel route. There's a penalty. He might draw one. Quay Walker on the coverage. Gibbs is a running back, but they throw him out of wide receiver a lot too. Carl Cheffers is our referee this afternoon.
Pass interference, number 7, defense. Ball will be placed at the spot on a foul, automatic, first down.
Yeah, anytime Jared Goff sees the matchup of Gibbs out there, you see the contact downfield, disrupting that route, and that's a hard matchup for any linebacker. I mean, they use Gibbs out of the backfield. He's almost a pseudo running back slash wide receiver, and if they're going to major in this man coverage, there's going to be some mismatches here defending this Lions offense.
They go 2 tight end jumbo formation with Montgomery the back. Gets a fake. Goff has all day. Lets her in. There's a catch by Laporta, the rookie tight end, inside the 10. And the Lions on the move. It'll be 1st and goal after a 31-yard gain.
Yeah, and this is the Lions offense. This is how they want to operate. Early down play action pass. Let the receiver clear the zone out. And I'll tell you, Sam Laporta, the last crop of young tight ends that have come into the league, I'm not sure if there's been a more well-rounded, more well-prepared guy to play at this level, both run and pass, than what we've seen from the young rookie. He's been fantastic, not just as a receiver, but they also ask him to do a ton in the run game.
1st and goal, Montgomery. And he is nowhere to go. Well played by the Packers. Well, Dan Campbell in his 3rd year has done just a magnificent job. He really has. Took this team, which was in a lot of losing situations and a lot of losing seasons, and turned them around into not only a contender, but Greg, you said it We've got a real chance to get the #1 seed in the NFC. The first things first. Taking on the Packers here today. Down 7-0, and it's 2nd and goal. Goff over the middle, fires, it's caught for the touchdown. It's Sam Laporta.
So usually when teams trot out 3 tight ends, there's another off the screen to your right. Everyone's thinking, bring in big bodies, big personnel. What do? They go spread them out. They throw a little backside short 8 to Sam Laporta. We just talked about him. His route running, his ability both man and zone. He's as good of a young tight end who's come into the league, KB, in the last couple years, and he's made his impact felt here early.
Extra point by Patterson is no drive go down and score. A couple of big plays. Sam Laporta finishes it off with the touchdown. Get it?
Got it.
Okay.
Noted.
That's the last time they were 8-2, and after Green Bay went right down the field, they answered. Sam Laporta, 7-yard touchdown catch, but the extra point was missed by Patterson, his first of the year. And now the Packers will get it on their second possession. How about the touchdown, Greg?
Yeah, so we see the final formation they built, but look how many guys are in the box in this spread formation. It's because Mitchell, the tight end, he started and motioned out. So the Green Bay has in a bigger body, a more base defense type, and all they do is just work the backside short 8. Sam Laporta, Goff does a great job holding Owens, the free safety, in the middle of the field, and that's routes on air. Great adjustment by Laporta there on a little back shoulder, and that's high-level football.
Dillon, up the field he goes for a short gain. So interesting to see without Aaron Jones exactly how the Packers treat running back. You know, they had to bring back Patrick Taylor, who's been with them on and off for 4 years. He was on the Patriots practice squad. They call up James Robinson. Remember the former Jaguar, had 1,000-yard seasons? They called him up because, well, there was a connection there with Matt LaFleur. His brother coached him with the Jets. So any running back healthy, come on up to the Packers. You might play today. And Dillon's even banged up too with a groin injury. On second down, Love fires over the middle, and it's caught again. Malik Heath, who had his first catch of the year last year, delivers for a first down.
Yeah, and the strength of this Green Bay offensive line is their pass protection. Look at how much time he moves a little bit off his spot, and then a really nice arm action there, giving Heath a chance on the little sit route. You can see him, he drops the slot to get that ball through traffic. They're not a run blocking group. This offensive line is athletic, a little bit undersized, but they have done a nice job all year in pass pro.
Try to get Dillon to the edge. He's got a little bit of a seam, but that's wrapped up quickly by Jack Campbell, the rookie linebacker. Oh, there is Matt LaFleur. He's watched his young quarterback grow, and he even told us when we spoke with him yesterday, you know, I'm mad at myself where I handled the end of the game last week. I was too conservative. I got to leave it in his hands.
He took an entirely different approach today. I mean, you said it at the top. They win the toss, take the ball. I just think that just shows the confidence they had in their game plan, in their opening script, and ultimately in his young quarterback.
Reed in motion, but a fake to him. Love in trouble, just going to throw it away. He was under heavy duress.
Well, when you watch this defensive unit here for Detroit, effort, intensity, no one greater than Aiden Hutchinson, him, Alex Anzalone, Brian Branch. I mean, they got some young pieces on this Detroit defense that play hard. They play with a lot of energy, and they really embody everything Dan Campbell wants this team to be.
Third and 8. Stunt coming. Love near sideline. Leaping grab. Watson, is he in? He is. Oh, what a catch from Christian Watson, who's having his best game of the year.
The question is, does he slap that right foot on the ground? He's obviously got the left one down. Yes, what a great job on the sideline. These are the plays they've wanted to see out of Christian Watson. Finished really strong last year, obviously playing with Aaron Rodgers after a slow start. This year's battled some injuries, and man, they've come out targeting him often, and he's making play after play so far.
Another fake. Love's got time, gets it out to Dillon. Turns it upfield. Barnes gets in, but not before Dillon's got another Packer first down and a gain of 11. As Aaron Jones, he's fired up what he's seeing from his team. Got the knee injury last week. They're hoping not long-term for him, but a cheerleader today. Reed gets on the jet sweep, turns up the field, and the speed from Jaden Reed has got another first down inside the 20. Starting to find a new toy there. They got it to him on those run plays last week, and he's got some real juice.
Yeah, and we asked Matt LaFleur, with the injuries at running back and some of the bodies being out, can you find ways to give the ball to Reed? He said absolutely. He is so dynamic. You mentioned we saw it last week, had 2 big carries, none bigger than the long touchdown against the Chargers. He is a young guy. They continue to find ways to use him. He's battling that chest injury, but man, he is a fighter.
Love firing far side. Watson's wide open again, makes the catch, and then surges forward down near the 10. So Christian Watson already with a season high in receptions. That's his 4th. I want to remind you, coming up at halftime, Grammy-nominated Jack Harlow will headline the Thanksgiving halftime show, powered by Verizon. Got to tell you, I had a little Jack Harlow on this morning, getting ready to come to the game. Just had to feel the vibe, you know.
Absolutely. I went and saw him in White Man Can't Jump. They did a remake of White Man Can't Jump. He played Woody Harrelson's kind of character. He was awesome.
2nd and 2. Dillon. Not much there, but that effort should be enough for a first down. Well, we'll see where they put it down. Very close. I guess just short.
Yeah, you have to imagine, we talked about the aggressive approach of Matt LaFleur. You got to imagine this in his mind. He's got 2 shots to gain 6 inches. He's got to keep pace with what's an aggressive play caller and philosophy of Dan Campbell, and they can't afford to lose these red zone opportunities.
Yeah, Matt LaFleur went over angry about the spot, but does not throw the challenge flag there. And the fake. Love got a man wide open. It's Kraft who's going to walk in for the touchdown.
It's just a great play design. You know you're going for it on 4th down, so you almost treat 3rd and short like 2nd and short. That's the opportunity to do the play action. He's going to smash release. He's going to stay on Hitchinson, and he's going to be the late looper. And that's just stealing, man. I'll tell you, Matt LaFleur, you said he wasn't happy about how conservative he played at the end of last week. Well, I'll tell you what, there's no signs of that. He has come out aggressive, and Jordan Love is continuing his continued improvement week in and week out.
Tucker Kraft has his first NFL touchdown, and Green Bay has scored touchdowns on their first 2 drives today. How about Matt LaFleur being aggressive? Jordan Love has been on fire, and Dan Campbell knows he's got to fight it. From Curly Lambeau to Aaron Rodgers, Reggie White, all the way on down. These Green Bay Packers established in 1919, and they've played the Lions a lot on Thanksgiving. As a matter of fact, it's a 22nd meeting on Thanksgiving. And for a Green Bay team that was 2nd worst first half scoring in the league, they've scored on their first 2 drives here this afternoon. Should tell you, it's not too late to play today's Fox Super 6 free-to-play game. Download the Fox Sports app right now. Enter for free for a chance to win your share of $10,000 in weekly cash prizes. So now the Lions' turn. Got some action the way this thing has started. Each team going down and scoring touchdowns on the 3 possessions.
Where are you going?
Here's another one of those 3 tight end. Now it's empty backfield. They got 3 tight ends, 1 back, 1 receiver.
And only a 3-man rush, and Goff can't find anyone. Now he takes off and runs for a minimal gain. They dropped into coverage too there. That was interesting.
Yeah, you could tell there was a lot of back and forth there. Goff checked when he went empty there. Green Bay checked. He checked back. There was a lot of kind of cat and mouse game there, and nice job. Green Bay decided to, that time, just bracket it out, play max coverage with drop 8, and even though they were in empty and sent 5 into the route, nowhere to go.
Here's Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs gets the carry, and there's a penalty on the play.
Offside, number 19, offense, lined up in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty, replay second down.
It's on Donovan Peoples-Jones, who they acquired at the trade deadline from Cleveland. So Ben Johnson, the mastermind behind this offense, he has been one of the hot coordinators in the game because of what he's done, and I know you think the world of him.
Yeah, you got to imagine. I think in this next head coaching hiring cycle, you have to imagine for a lot of teams across the league, he's at or near the top of their list.
Blitz coming. Goff can't find anyone. Steps away. Hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Packers brought the heat that time, and maybe not. Ball's going to be returned just in case by Jonathan Owens. Ruling on the field, it's a fumble, and it's a touchdown.
Recovered by the defense for a touchdown.
KB, I think this is going to stand. Great job here by the officials. That's the mechanics. They want to let the play run out. They can always review it. Take a look. Is his hand empty when it's going forward? I think it is.
I do too.
I think that ball is out. Great job by the officials not blowing this play dead, and I don't see any way that this gets overturned. I think that's clearly a fumble.
Let's check Dean Blandino, our rules expert from LA. Dean, what do you think?
Ruling of a fumble and recovery by the defense is under review.
All right, so they will look at it like they do with every turnover, but Dean, it looks to us like this is going to stand, and we'll get to you after this break. Right now, it's a touchdown for Jonathan Owens in this Green Bay defense. Stand by for...
Should stand as a fumble and a recovery by the Packers.
As they finish the review, let's hear from Carl
After
Cheffers.
review, the ruling on the field stands as called. Touchdown.
Wow. So, a 27-yard fumble return from Jonathan Owens.
Yeah, and originally it's Kenny Clark. He's working on the young rookie, the left guard, Colby Sorsdal, and he just wins. It turns into 5 one-on-one blocks with Quay Walker adding to the pressure, and that is one thing that they've struggled with. They have a great protection unit, but when Goff has pressure, their efficiency as an offense goes way down.
And the extra point is up, and that one is no good. So each team has missed an extra point here today, but it's 20-6 after the defensive touchdown. And we'll be right back after this to let it all play out. That's what you do. Instead of an incomplete, it's a fumble. Jonathan Owens, alert, picks it up, says, I'm going to run this in from 27 yards out to make it a defensive score for Green Bay. And they've got a 20-6 lead. And the one thing about the Lions, you talked about it. Last week they overcame a 4-turnover game to win. You can't do that every week. It's been a problem that's been kind of coming up on them the last few weeks. Here's Dorsey going to take it out. And gets smoked at the 15-yard line. Well done on special teams by Benny Sapp, who they just called up from the practice squad.
Yeah, going back to the turnovers, we talked, Goff's turned the ball over. One thing since he's come to Detroit, he's been very good at 2 things. Avoiding sacks under pressure. He's one of the best in the league at not turning those into sacks. And he's been very good protecting the ball in general. We've seen a flurry of some turnovers. Last week, the 3 picks plus another fumble, 4 turnovers, but they were able to overcome it. That's a sign of a good team. But as you said, you don't want to make a living doing it.
Here's Jahmyr Gibbs, left side. Looking for room out across the 20. A good run for Gibbs. Going to pick up 5 yards on first down. This running back duo for Detroit has been really, really effective. It's pretty much split down the middle with Gibbs and David Montgomery.
And those few weeks that David Montgomery was out due to injury and they were forced to give Gibbs, the rookie, a lot of extra reps, I think that's really what allowed Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell to figure out what this duo looks like together. Because now with both of them healthy, you said it, it's been pretty much a 50-50 split, and they're both super effective.
Fake here. Goff has pressure, steps away, throws, miscommunication, looking for Gibbs, who turned it up the field. And this raucous crowd a little stunned right now how Green Bay's come out with the big uppercut.
And all eyes are on this Green Bay defense. Where they are healthy though, KB, you mentioned some of the second level and secondary injuries. They're healthy up front. We've seen Rashawn Gary, Preston Smith, Kenny Clark. They've got some dudes up front now that can get after the passer in these passing situations.
Four-man rush here on 3rd and 5. Pressure again. Goff in trouble. Steps away and runs. He lost the ball again. There's a fight for it at the bottom. Carl Brooks punched it out. Now who's got it?
I think Green Bay got it. I think Brooks ended up forcing the strip and recovering it. Yeah.
And Green Bay has recovered. Back-to-back possessions with a fumble for Detroit. One return for a touchdown, and now the Packers have it inside the 30.
And I just can't stress in his time here how uncharacteristic this turnover-prone nature of Jared Goff is, and back-to-back drives end with fumbles. And I'll tell you what, this Green Bay defense, at least here early in the first quarter, got to tip their cap.
See Preston Smith in hot pursuit, and then Brooks, the rookie, is the one that came over to force the fumble. He's had a good year. Rookie out of Bowling Green. 3 sacks on the year coming in, gets another one there, and the forced fumble. Now look at this for Green Bay, where they start. Love on a little flip, coming inside to Reed. Second time they've run that play, and maybe a yard. Here's the issue for the Lions. As great as they are offensively, you don't want to keep digging out of holes. In the last 5 quarters of play, they have turned it over 6 times. Now there's an injured Lion. Believe it's Aleem McNeil. Terrific defensive tackle. Hopefully he's all right. Injury timeout. Campbell, he just walked off, and he goes into the tent to get checked out. We certainly hope that he is okay. And now Lions have to get a stop here. I mean, it's already 20-6.
Yeah, so far Green Bay's had 2 red zone ops, and they've had 2 touchdowns, and that's something they've struggled with all season long. They give up more red zone touchdowns, bottom 3 in the league, so they're reeling right now. Their offense is turning the ball over, and this defense needs to come up with a stop and force a 3 and reset.
Yeah, we've talked about Green Bay being a bad first-half team. Not today. So undermanned, but coming out aggressive, and then a defensive touchdown helps. And 2 fumble recoveries in the row by the defense helps. 2nd and 9 here with 1:10 to go in this first quarter. Four-man rush. Love escapes. Room to run, maybe. Tucks it away, tries to get to the edge, and does. He's going to get a few yards inside the 20. Give him about 4 yards.
Yeah, we've talked how good this offensive line has done. You're going to see they're trying to do a little TE stunt with Hutchinson and Myers. He's just waiting for him as he comes inside. And nice job there by Love escaping the pocket and picking up a couple. Make this a 3rd and manageable here.
Third and 7, and this play's blown dead. Green Bay is going to call a timeout.
Timeout. Green Bay, a 30-second timeout.
And we'll be right back after this message from State Farm. threatening, already up 20-6. Love blocked up again underneath, gets it to Kraft, who had the touchdown, and he's dragged down just before the first down line, about a half a yard short from Derek Barnes, and so a decision on a 4th and short when we come back. But that's the end of this first quarter. Lions shocked at the start. Green Bay coming out hot with a 20-6 lead on this Thanksgiving. And there's a batch on the exchange, and Dillon is eaten up alive, and the Lions get a much-needed stand.
Wow. You have the entire quarter break. You go back and A.J. Dillon just goes the wrong way. Everybody's blocking. Jordan Love is anticipating him getting the ball on the right side. You can see from where the linemen are blocking, he just went the wrong way, KB. That's just a brutal mistake there, especially when you had the entire commercial break coming into the second quarter to make sure everyone knew the play call.
Yeah, that was a chance to really put the hammer down, but the Lions get a big play and a little help. And now from their own 14, they will try to get the run game going. There's Montgomery, who's going to get a couple for Kingsley Enagbari. Takes care of him. Well, the Lions, we talked about the turnovers have started to come the last few games, and we've had a few of them today. The missed extra point after a great opening drive for them, and then back-to-back possessions with a fumble. This one was returned for a touchdown for Green Bay with Jonathan Owens. That one they get a break. Defense holds on 4th and 1, but Dan Campbell told us that's the one thing that's got to go away after a 4-turnover game on Sunday. Another run. It is Montgomery. Interesting, the Lions are going with the run game on early downs a little more than they usually do.
Yeah, and I think the element, I think there's this misnomer out there that the run game is what allows you to be such a good play action team. And I think Ben Johnson's offense historically has kind of flipped that upside down. The threat of their play action, the ability to stay in what they call 50-50 downs, where it's not a clear pass or run, allows them to be so multiple and puts the pressure on defenses to have to play both. I'd like to see them get back into early passing downs as opposed to all the runs.
3rd and run. Montgomery fights forward. He's got the first down. Well, Joe Barry and this Green Bay defense playing well shorthanded today. And Ben Johnson told us, I have the utmost respect for him. I have trouble calling games against him. He does a great job at disguising things.
Absolutely, and he said he always has a wrinkle for me. He always has something that hasn't showed up on tape, whether it's a new run pressure or a 3rd down blitz, or just changing between zone and man and just changing the looks on the quarterback. They both were highly complimentary of one another, like you said, and so far they've held up great.
Stay with Montgomery again. A little hop step and a big hole. Upended Montgomery, but a nice run. Good blocking, too. He's going to pick up 9. And we get another injured Lion on the play. It's Frank Ragnow, the center. One of the best in the league. Lions are playing a little shorthanded on that very good offensive line today. Jonah Jackson is out with a wrist injury. Colby Sword still playing for him. Now we hope Ragnow is okay. Injury timeout. Down 20-6, coming near side. Got a catch and a first down. It's Malcolm Rodriguez, the linebacker who's been moonlighting a little bit as a fullback, but he makes the catch.
Well, that's pretty impressive. I mean, that was just gone protection. He was just a fast out of the backfield, added him into the route concept, and that's a great hands catch there in the flat. That's pretty impressive for a linebacker.
So Malcolm Rodriguez doesn't have any career interceptions, but now he's got a catch, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Frank Ragnow is back in the game at center. Good news for Detroit, so he only missed one play and a 1st and 10. Goff stands in, delivers. Amon-Ra St. Brown on the board, his first catch of the day, and he is their top receiver. He's got 6 100-yard games on the year. That's the most in the NFL.
You know, I think the part that, just studying him this week for this game, you've seen all the numbers, you've seen the stats, obviously, since he's come into the league. But what really stood out to me is for a guy who's not overly big in stature, Kev, he's one of the best in the NFL at contested catches, bodies around the target, fighting through contact. And there's really not a whole lot this guy can't do, and just continues to improve.
Montgomery again, spin move, breaks another tackle, and working hard for Montgomery for a yard. Green Bay all over it. And up comes third down. So they're giving Montgomery bulk of the carries today. We told you about usually a split with he and Jahmyr Gibbs. But Montgomery's been the workhorse. Now 9 carries, 27 yards for him. 3rd and 3. Goff over the middle, high, and that could have been intercepted, but it's incomplete. Laporta, the intended receiver, and now a 4th and 3, and the Lions thought they might think about going for it, but they're going to send out the punt team.
Yeah, and this is just a flat-out miss by Jared Goff. He had outside leverage, Laporta on the little basic in cut, and you can just see the ball out of his hand. It didn't come out right, and goes off the extended right hand of Laporta. Goff's just, he's a little off. We've mentioned the turnovers. He did a great job last week of battling through, throwing 3 picks, and came up big there in the 4th quarter, leading them back. But he's got to settle in. You got to hit those easy passes at this level.
Jack Fox punted away. Low sinking kick. Jaden Reed calls fair catch. And so the Packers will take over. It's been their first half. 20-6, surprising the Lions.
It's release. Look at the leverage Sam Laporta gets when they pass off the little sit. Here's his read, McDuffie. He sits down on Riemann. This is an easy read, and the reason it's wide open, look at the attention Amon-Ra St. Brown gets between Quay Walker and Owens on the other side. That's why there was no hole player in the middle of the field. You can't miss those shots.
Wasted opportunity for the Lions. Now it's Jordan Love's turn on the fake again. Gets it out to Dillon, who's wide open in the flat. Tries to leap, but he's still on his feet across the 30. A.J. Dillon is not supposed to be able to do that. He's 250 pounds.
Yeah, this was usually the Aaron Jones role, is the open field. Dillon's kind of known as the big body bruiser, but he has great hands. It's something that he's gotten a lot better at since he came out of school, and nice job there taking the hit in the air by Anzalone, and man, that's hands to the face, right? If I'm Green Bay, I'm saying, hey, that's hands to the face. I guess officials don't deem it forcible contact.
And movement.
Encroachment, number 90, defense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
That's on Quinton Bohanna. Well, let's remind you again, A.J. Dillon is 250 pounds. I mean, you going to tackle that?
Well, one guy went low, one guy went high, and he was able to defeat them both simultaneously. That was pretty impressive in the open field by the big back.
Here is Dillon up the middle and a short gain. Well, Jordan Love, think about the beginning of the year. Aaron Rodgers moves on. It's Love's first year starting after a little scuffle here. Sitting on the bench for 3 years, and all his headlines have changed now as he's playing well. Love shows more glimpses that he can be the answer at quarterback, where his patience with Jordan Love finally paying off. All these headlines have certainly changed coming into November. Career day, comes off a career best, his first 300-yard game, and today he's been awesome. 10 of 11, 152 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's got a perfect rating so far. Second and 3 to throw it again. Slings it over the middle. It's Romeo Doubs who's got his first catch. And he's into Detroit territory. Love has been good off the field too, hasn't he, Tom?
Absolutely, KB. Talking to his teammates this week, Rashawn Gary really praised him as a leader after tough losses after the Falcons loss early in the season, going around and lifting other players up. Talking to Jaden Reed about his ability to gathered together, the wide receivers and tight ends, before the season even started. We're seeing him flourish on the field, but as a leader, really growing and finding his voice.
2 and 2 together, it's been pretty good. And he's continued it today. Here is Taylor on the carry. By the way, Greg, good news for Detroit defensively on this drive, as EA told us that Aleem McNeil, Jack Campbell both got checked, both back in the game. Remember, they kind of collided on that rough hit. And Aleem McNeil has been so important to this team inside on that interior line, number 54. We've done every time we do a Lions game, someone brings them up without us even asking about it.
Yeah, unsolicited. Every single offensive coach, when you talk about Aiden Hutchinson and all the guys, they say Aleem McNeil is the centerpiece of the middle of that defensive line. And frankly, you can't block him, run or pass. He's turned into an elite player at that position.
Play pass, Love going deep. It's a shot to Dobbs across the middle, and he's got the catch down to the 29. Jordan Love, just sensational first half, continues.
And I think it's important to point out, as you see Dobbs run this big cross route on the basic, I think it's important to point out, here we are about halfway through the second quarter. They've only attempted, Green Bay, they've only attempted 3 third downs. What that tells us is their aggressive play on first and second down, picking up first downs, is the best style of offense. You stay in play action, your run play pass is more effective. I love this plan by Matt LaFleur.
Taylor, good blocking on the edge, and Taylor gets inside the 25. And a rare running play, but I think that's the other part of it, right? Green Bay, there's been no pressure on Love. We talked about the front of Detroit. They haven't gotten home.
Absolutely, and they're a better pass pro team at this stage of the season than they are run blocking. But it's the threat of the first and second down pass that really softens up those linebackers. Those interior guys get into more pass rush mode when they're used to seeing first and second down pass so often. The run now becomes secondary and is a lot more effective.
Four-man rush here. Love going far side of the field and incomplete. Try to get it to Jaden Reed, and now it's 3rd and 5. Love, here comes Aiden Hutchinson, gets rid of it, going end zone, bodies collide, Watson the intended receiver, I don't see a flag. And Matt LaFleur on the field arguing, he and Cam Sutton collided.
No foul for pass interference. Both players were playing the ball and their feet became entangled.
You just got the explanation.
Yeah, and I think it's the right call. I think you can clearly see Watson and Cam Sutton, obviously much to the dismay of Matt LaFleur. I think that's just an example of two guys getting tangled feet. You heard the official come on the loudspeaker and make the call. I think in this case that's the right call, and great stop here by Detroit, forcing the field goal attempt.
Now it's the rookie Anders Carlson from 43 yards out. And the kick is good. The Green Bay adds to their lead. It's now 23-6. They can be in the future. This has been something else.
Yeah, we knew they were talented. They were just inexperienced and a little inconsistent. But I think on days like today, there's almost an ignorance is bliss kind of idea. These young players, they don't really know what they don't know. They play free, they're confident, they're dynamic. And we've seen a bunch of guys that haven't played a whole lot of reps all year come out and play really well.
Here's Dorsey looking for a little spark on the return. So the Packers have a lot of energy. The Lions don't have much. EA, your report.
Well, I'll tell you this, and just watching the offense as they take the field, there's really no panic and nobody's super emotional. But remember, we talked to Dan Campbell this week and asked him about the short week. And he said in his mind, the biggest key, team has the most energy and plays with the most detail will win the game from the attitude standpoint. We have to play sound football. Obviously, they've struggled with that. And as he said, and you've said it too, Kevin, they were fortunate to get out of that game against the Bears. They've got to clean this up and see if they have a little juice out there.
Yeah, they did overcome a 12-point deficit with 3 minutes to go in the game last week, and they got some work to do here, down by 17. But obviously a lot of time to go.
Yeah, they're reloading it. This guy started high and then came back down into the box.
And he's got time. Now can't find it in one pocket, breaks down, and Goff is tripped up. Right around the line of scrimmage. See if it goes down as a sack or not. It's Gary, and should be his second sack of the day.
Yeah, this was cool to see. Jonathan Owens, see him when he's in the back. This originally was going to be a pass, and you heard him say, kill, kill. He then slowly started walking down. Listen to the center. Reload. It goes back to a pass because he's getting out. It's really good quarterback center working together. Obviously didn't work out, but that's the mechanics of the play.
Second down, blitz coming. Goff backpedaling, throwing to nowhere. Well, these Packers are dialing up everything today, shorthanded. It is working. Quay Walker on the pressure that time.
I think these wrinkles, they weren't prepared. Again, short week. Every coach goes through the balance of, all right, we want to make sure we game plan specific to our opponent. We don't want to overwhelm guys, especially guys that haven't played a lot, but give credit to Joe Barry. His defense has come ready to go, and they played well.
3rd and 10. Pressure again on Goff. That may have been tipped at the line, and it's incomplete. And now there's a penalty in the secondary, so hold everything. Goff was under duress again that time.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, number 58 defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
You're going to see right now McDuffie one-on-one in the slot against the rookie tight end Laporta. Let's see the contact. He's going to come out of it. Yeah, I don't know. That one seems... I'd love to. There we go. Joe Barry likes it.
Joe Barry did initially.
He liked it, and then he said, oh, my God. I mean, he had him. But I don't know. It seemed like light contact there, but obviously the official thought it was enough to get Laporta on the ground.
Gibbs up the middle, and Gibbs taken down from behind. Gary got him. He's having a whale of a first half. On a nice tackle, could have been an even bigger run. A reminder, coming up at the half, Grammy-nominated Jack Harlow, headlining the Thanksgiving halftime show powered by Verizon. You know, our producer, Richie Zients, and director, Rich Russo, their first class. See what I did there using the song title?
You're a professional. Yep. That's why you are who you are.
Occasionally. 2nd and 4.
34. Set. 180 was set.
Maybe a yard. It'll be a 3rd down and 3. This Lions offense came into today number 2 in the NFL, 6th in scoring. I mean, they are an explosive group. Speaking of that, 5th in the NFL in explosive plays. They've been limited today. The pressure from Green Bay. Amon-Ra St. Brown, one of the best in the league, just 1 catch. This is where they go to him, though, on 3rd down. 4-man pressure. Goff stands in, has a man wide open. It's Raymond who's got his first catch of the day, and a biggie. Down to the Green Bay 40 he goes, and the drive continues.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the coverage was here. Some of the guys on the field are playing underneath zone, and everyone else is playing man. Nobody runs with Raymond, and he's wide open there on 3rd down. That's a clear miscommunication there by the secondary.
They go tempo here. Goff, pressure coming, and throws it away.
Yeah, so they thought Green Bay jumped, and they snapped it thinking they had a free play, but the officials didn't think they were in the neutral zone. And now they're deciding, was that intentional grounding?
Can you imagine the turn of events?
Yeah, so watch. So they got a little movement there by Slayton, so he quick snaps it. But he didn't actually cross the neutral zone, so it was not a free play. Yeah, that's intentional grounding. He wasn't outside the pocket.
Intentional grounding, number 16, offense. 10-yard penalty, loss of down, 2nd down.
Yeah, so The tackle box is about 3 yards to the right of this hash, and he's close. Dean, I'd love to know what Dean thinks. I mean, he is close. If anything, he's on the edge of that original tackle box, and clearly they thought he was still inside.
So 2nd and 21 after that turn of events. Goff now gets rid of it quickly this time. Far side of the field is Brock Wright, the tight end. Let's go to Dean. Dean, your thoughts on that call?
You're always going to give the quarterback the benefit of the doubt. The ball was snapped on the right hash. It looked like he was right on the edge. You want to give him that benefit. But I thought he was still inside. Obviously, no receiver in the area, and they end up with the grounding call.
It's just amazing. Dean, thank you. Greg, I mean, you go from you think you have a free play to you get penalized yourself.
You have to make sure as the center there, Frank Ragnow, the center, you have to make sure they clearly get in the neutral zone if you're going to quick snap it.
3rd and 12. Goff underneath St. Brown. Long way to go. Down to the 35. He's going to be short by 4 yards of a first down. And now, how aggressive are they?
Well, I think you're exactly right. I think that's just enough to make Dan Campbell be aggressive, and I think he's going to keep his offense. He knows he needs a spark here, and I almost wondered to at least let this down to the 2-minute warning. The play clock, they have enough time here to let this down to the 2-minute warning. I don't know if I'd snap it on the plus side of it or not. Maybe
Campbell.
make him jump. Try to get him to jump. Take the decision into the 2-minute.
No, they're going to give for it. 4th and 4. Pressure on Goff. Hit as he throws. Ball is loose. Sitting on the ground. Doesn't matter. It'll be Green Bay taking over. They say now incomplete, but the Packers will grab the football on a 4th down stop. Preston Smith came with the heat, and the Packers playing a great first half, and they're up. Defense making a stand. Arguably their best game so far this year, up 23-6. 2 timeouts left in their football here with 1:58 to go in the half. Here's Jordan Love. Slings it out to Reed, and Walker brings him down. Going to be a loss. Actually, that was Joseph, not Walker. On that 4th down play, you liked the decision to go for it.
I did. I thought it was the right decision. 35-yard line. That's a long kick. You've already missed an extra point. I don't hate the call. I would have liked to have seen him. Maybe you get him a free 5 yards. Make him jump. Get up to the line. Take the 2-minute warning. Catch your breath. Reset. Make sure you have your best gotta-have-it play. Instead, they ran up, snapped it, and the pressure of Green Bay has been the storyline of this first half.
2nd down. Here's Dillon up the field. A gaping hole for A.J. Dillon, rumbling into Lions territory. And a 1st down and a run of 17.
Yeah, but watch the 2 high safeties. A little bit of a light box here, anticipating maybe more of a pass approach. But now with the ball at midfield, Green Bay didn't want to give Detroit an extra possession, but now under a minute, they can go into a more up-tempo 2-minute and steal points.
Love going far side of the field, knocked away. Brian Branch with a nice play on Jaden Reed with 52 seconds to go in this first half. Which so far, Greg, has been the polar opposite of when they played in week 4, because in that game, the Lions just crushed Green Bay in the first half, and essentially the game was over. It's been the reverse.
Yeah, and they ran for over 200 yards in that game, Detroit did. Now you find yourself down here trailing to some capacity here at the half, and the ability to rely on that play-action run game really goes down, turns into a drop-back game for Detroit.
2nd and 10. Love, Taylor out of the backfield makes the catch, and Anzalone wrestles him down right away. It'll bring up 3rd down with 47 seconds to go in this half. Love just looks comfortable. We did his week 1 start in Chicago, which they won. He looks like a different guy.
No question. And we walked out of Soldier Field in week 1 thinking, all right, they might be onto something here. He had some tough sledding there the next few weeks, but we talked about it at the top of the show. He's playing his best ball here late in the season, and that's exactly where you want to peak.
Third down and 6. Love can't find anyone. Pressure. Throws on the run and incomplete. That time the Lions finally get home with some pressure on Love, and likely will force a punt here.
And it was the late pressure that forced the throwaway, but it was a great job by the back 7 linebackers and secondary of Detroit matching that combination, and
You know what? They're not going to punt. They're going to go.
I almost wonder now, do they try to make them jump? You'd hate to give Detroit a relatively short field here, knowing they get the ball coming out of halftime. This is a big gamble now by Matt LaFleur.
And they need 6 yards.
I just can't.
Yeah.
I just cannot see this ball getting snapped.
Yeah, the way the first half has gone. There's a penalty.
Number 10.
And that's on the delay of game. And you think about the way, listen,
Fourth down.
first half's gone so well. Why hand Detroit
No, there was
half
under
the field?
no circuit. And you know what's always the tip for anyone watching at home, sitting on your couch, hanging out? Anytime an offense starts going into like these bizarre shifts and motions, it's like the ultimate tell that ball's not getting snapped. Like no one's motion or shifts ever look like they do on a no play.
It's like the fake throw to third, throw to first in baseball. Does it ever work?
Yeah, 12-year-old youth baseball. I've seen it work.
It's a different level. So they will punt it away. It's Whelan. End over end, high kick, and fair catch at the 16 by Khalif Raymond. What is coming up on the Verizon Halftime Show? What do you got for us, guys?
All right, thanks, Kevin. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime, we'll break down the first half. But first, Happy Thanksgiving!
Those kids having the time of their life. Kurt, thanks very much. Gronk, spiking footballs.
How do you not have fun hanging with Gronk? He's like the fun uncle at Thanksgiving, right? You just can't wait for him to come over.
So the Lions here, 35 seconds left, but all 3 timeouts. See how aggressive they are. Goff over the middle and incomplete. He had a man, Laporta, just a little in front. Second down.
Yeah, the reason it's in front, he would love to have held that one more half count, but Preston Smith is in his face. Watch the timing when Preston Smith gets in his face. He comes underneath. He has to get the ball out, but he hasn't quite cleared Quay Walker yet. That's why the coverage and the rush go hand in hand, and that's why.
A lot of pressure on Goff, as you see. Back to throw, going far side for St. Brown, who ran a different route. And this Lions offense just a little discombobulated here in this first half. Goff was not under pressure, so if you're thinking intentional grounding. Yeah, and they just say that Carl Cheffers announcing to the crowd, just letting them know.
Now it's amazing how much strategy there has been here the last minute of this game, KB. Now think, you're Green Bay, you have 2 timeouts, it's 3rd and 10. How aggressive does Ben Johnson want to be here, potentially stopping the clock, punting it back to somewhere around midfield, and Green Bay getting an extra possession? So, interesting call here.
Penalty flies. Goff stands in, delivers, it is caught, and that's a first down to Laporta. Pending the penalty. With 20 seconds to go in this half.
Illegal shift offense.
Well,
all players did not get set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
We just haven't seen. I mean, we've seen little glimpses. We called that Baltimore Ravens game, which kind of got away from Detroit a few weeks back. But all in all, this offense is just so used to performing at such a high level, being so efficient. Just uncharacteristic performance here in the first half is really the only way to put it.
And the Green Bay pressure, you hit it, really been the story of this game. 20 seconds left, 3rd and 15. Just going to hand it off here. And now a flea flicker, maybe not. Goff standing in, throwing deep near side, and Jameson Williams just never turned around. We get a penalty flag back near the line of scrimmage. So let's see what this is.
Number 74 of the offense was illegally downfield. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is 4th down.
Yeah, it was Kayode Owoshika. And it would have been incomplete anyway. So 13 seconds left. They'll have to punt it away. And it's been a first half offensive disaster for the Lions. Offense has been stagnating. They've got 2 fumbles, 1 return for a touchdown. And they've allowed constant pressure. Now Jack Fox with a big punt. High,
short, fair catch it.
Very short. Fair catch call for right around the 45-yard line with only 5 seconds left.
You know, it's funny. That's one of those situations, KB. It doesn't happen a lot. Depending where you fair catch that ball, you can attempt a free kick.
Yep.
We haven't seen many of them over the years. I actually had one in a game I played over in London. We played Tampa my last year in Carolina. We attempted a free kick. We missed it. Thought maybe they'd give it a shot here.
It's a little too far.
Yeah, you think about a kickoff, though. It's close.
Instead, try for the old Hail Mary. Love underneath. Reed slides down. Now they get a timeout in time. Let's see. It looked like he got down in time before it went down to 0. And he did. There should be at least a second or two on the clock.
Green Bay called timeout with 1 second on the clock. Please set the game clock to 1 second.
Let's watch.
All right, let's take a look. So obviously this is mandatory. Get down, catch, down. Oh yeah, there's plenty of time. There might have been 2 seconds. Well executed there, and now they'll take the kick. Guess they figure, but again, KB, think about this. They gain 10, but the field goal snaps 8. But now you have to kick it with a rush. I don't know. It's an interesting decision, free kick versus field goal, but nonetheless.
This will be a 63-yard field goal. His long is 52. He hit from 57 in the preseason. Carlson drills it. He's got a chance on the way and is taken by Raymond, who is back to receive for Detroit. Why not? Now Raymond looking for a miracle kick return. Breaks the tackle. Khalif Raymond still on his feet. Had some blocking and a heck of a return. Got the crowd excited. But that'll be the end of this first half. And a great one for the Packers. 23-6. They lead it. Stay tuned. The Verizon Halftime Extravaganza featuring Jack Harlow. Coming up after these messages of fumbles in that first half. And the third quarter is underway. Dorsey will try and run it out. Gets to the edge. And a good return from Dorsey, who stacked up before the 30, and we go downstairs to Aaron.
Well, Kev, Dan Campbell telling me coming out of the locker room this week, no different than last. It's the turnovers that's absolutely killing us. He said because of that, we can't get into a rhythm. I asked him about Green Bay's pressure and how you even counter that. He said we've been pretty good with the protections. We're just getting long with the snaps. We're running the wrong routes, and right now we are our own worst enemy. He said if we can clean this up, we can get into a rhythm here, get St. Brown involved and go.
Yeah, it's a great call. They haven't had any rhythm. Here's Gibbs. That'll give him some rhythm with a big seam, and Jahmyr Gibbs on the first play into Packers territory. That'll give him a little juice. 23 yards to Gibbs.
And these are the early explosives on first down that they've been looking for. They've been relying on this run game a lot in the first half, and now they're able to pop one and getting Gibbs out on the perimeter on that pin and pull. Great start here on this drive to start the second half.
Aaron talked about Amon-Ra St. Brown, only 2 catches for 14 yards for him so far. He's at the top of your screen. Now in motion, and they'll fake. Goff this time has time, fires a strike, and there is Amon-Ra St. Brown with a big gain. Back-to-back explosive plays for the Lions, and they're in business.
Yeah, we saw this on the opening drive. They threw it to Sam Laporta, the tight end. Now they just do it out of a different combination, but Jamison Williams, he runs the big 7. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he runs the low 7.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Badger Kimbo.
I like them staying on the ball here, trying to keep some rhythm in this drive. Going no huddle.
Gibbs, not much there. Maybe a yard, if anything at all. Say, we got to remind viewers, if you just tuned in at home, maybe stepped away from the Thanksgiving dinner table, Green Bay so decimated with injuries today on both sides of the ball. So it makes it even more impressive what their defense has been doing.
Look how many guys are around the box.
So they'll throw it. Pressure. Goff has to get rid of it. Does. And a nice catch in traffic there by Josh Reynolds. But for a short gain. It's Corey Ballantyne at very good coverage. Up comes 3rd down and 6.
You wonder if Dan Campbell's in the ear of Ben Johnson, his offensive coordinator, telling him, hey, if you get this thing close enough, give me a decision to make, knowing they're chasing 17 points, having a chance to keep this alive to go 7.
They're going to run it. Montgomery has a couple good blocks, uses them. Montgomery in for the touchdown. Penalty at the very end of this. And the signal is it's coming back. Wow. That was literally thrown at the 1-yard line.
Holding, number 11, offense, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Yeah, here's Khalif Raymond right here. Let's take a look. I mean, that flag came out late. Let's see. So they're kind of hugging each other there on the 2-yard line, and let's see the end. I don't know. I think the defender has his arms wrapped around Raymond's back. I'm not sure. That seems like just two guys kind of hugging each other in the end zone.
Oh, that's a killer.
That's a brutal penalty. Now, just obviously to clean it all up, they'll retry 3rd down. They'll mark the penalty from the spot of the foul. So they won't get the 1st down, but it will be 3rd down again, but 3rd and short. But that run, not to interrupt, that run call by Ben Johnson tells me that was to set up going for 4 down territory.
So they will do 3rd down here. 3rd and 1. Montgomery again. He's got the 1st down and down to the 5.
Yeah, well, you said, what can this Lions team do to chip away to start this half? And we've seen it. This is the Lions offense that we've seen for the most part all season. Play action pass, run game, it all kind of working together. And they're rolling right now, 1st and goal. Rodriguez, the linebacker, KB, back at fullback.
Montgomery dancing, working his way near the end zone. Is he in? He is! Touchdown, Detroit!
Take a look here. Montgomery, he's contacted about the 2-yard line. It looks like he's on top of the body here, and that ball crosses. I think that's going to stand. And, man, you talk about an impressive way to start the 3rd quarter, and that's a big-time drive there by this Lions as they get ready. It looks like they're going to go for 2.
Eligible 70 is an eligible receiver.
Yeah, Montgomery, I think, is hurt. I think they're trying to he's limping in the huddle. I think they were trying to get Gibbs off the sideline. You see him kind of jumping around on that leg, but he's going to stay in for this 2-point try.
Yeah, they bring on an extra lineman here, Dan Skipper, who reports eligible. Montgomery stays in. Montgomery right up the gut for 2. He lost the ball, but he's in. The signal at the 2-point conversion is good. Well, that is an answer. And now there's a little skirmish. Flag flies with some shoving and pushing going on. Montgomery just barely gets here before he got decked. With the Lions right down the field. And they're sorting out the flag here at the very end. And you're right, Greg. Montgomery is limping there.
Yeah, they were trying to signal before the 2-point try after the touchdown. They were trying to signal to the sideline to get a new back in.
Unsuccessful extra point, number 90. Pull the player off the pile. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Timeout.
So they check Montgomery, but the Lions.
KB, we've talked all game about the relationship between play action, boot, and run game. Watch the 3 off-the-ball defenders. When Malcolm Rodriguez goes to the flat, they're playing boot. Look at them. They're all going sideways. There's no one fit in the run. And that was the touchdown on 1st down by Montgomery. And now you're going to see this was the penalty. You're not allowed to peel players off the pile, either side. And see Lucas Van Ness, the first-round pick, he pulls Skipper, the jumbo tackle, off the pile.
Yeah, that's why they kick off from midfield, and the Packers are going to take it and start on the 25 regardless. Let's go down to Tom.
Talking to Matt LaFleur coming out for the half, he went back to the way this game started. The decision to receive the ball, go deep on the first play of the game, as we see things getting a little bit chippy there in the end zone. In terms of being aggressive, take a look at this from the head coach, Matt LaFleur, as he tries to leave the field at halftime, getting stopped by a security guard initially, and he had plenty to say, talking to him coming back at the half. He said, that's never happened to me ever in my coaching career. I was fully committed and I wasn't going to be stopped. He said, we're winning this game up front on both sides of the ball, protecting Love and getting pressure on Goff. Let's see if they can deal with this crowd now. They're back in it, KB.
And so it is a 1st and 10 for the Packers after all that. How about the coach almost getting checked off the field? Here's Love. Pressure for really the first time. Dumps it underneath to Dillon out to the 30. And now fascinating to see if Green Bay, how they react to being kind of hit in the mouth for the first time.
Yeah, they have to stay aggressive. They cannot say, all right, we're going to protect this lead and try to just get in a race to the triple zeros at the end of the fourth quarter. Everything that's gotten you this lead has been your aggressive nature as a play caller. Matt LaFleur cannot lose this, as now they strike first, Detroit, to start this half.
Reed, nope, it's give instead to Dillon on the fake to Reed, and Dillon's going to pick up a couple, bring up a 3rd down and 2. Third and 2. Love over the middle. He's got a man wide open, and it's caught by Jaden Reed, who's got the first down.
Yeah, this is a great example of just running into coverage. You see Reed, he feels Jack Campbell, the linebacker, settle, and he knows if he just wraps it inside of him. Great job, Love, there with his eyes and his feet being in sync, and as he worked through his progression, Reed popped wide open, and big 3rd down conversion there.
Tell you what, this Packers offensive line has done a heck of a job today.
They're fantastic pass protectors.
And whistle blows.
False start, number 76. Offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
I mean, does it ever fail when you compliment a lineman or a kicker that they do something wrong?
Yeah, somebody's got to study that. There is something going on in the universe that the second you try to be positive about a group, especially those two, it always comes back to bite you. I'm sorry, John Runyon.
So it's 1st and 15. It's like clockwork. Here's Love. Can't find anyone. Got Dillon on the flat if he wants him. Still hangs on, coming across his body. Oh, and he's got a completion. That was dangerous, but Malik Heath was there, and he beat Jerry Jacobs for the 50-50 ball.
Well, listen, KB, young quarterbacks at home, unless you have Jordan Love's arm talent, every single coach is just holding their breath as that ball's in the air. But watch Heath here. He goes down, stays alive, rally, scramble, and he goes, oh my God, he's about to throw this ball back across the entire field to set up 2nd and short. That's a ridiculous ball by Jordan Love, but risky.
From disaster to a 12-yard gain, just like that. Handed off to Dillon, who gets stymied right away. Anzalone and Jacobs was there to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, great job here by Alex Anzalone. He's just the run-through player. Elton Jenkins, the left guard, he's working a combination block. He just can't get off of it fast enough, and that tackle for loss sets up 3rd medium.
just get it off. Love underneath. Dobbs dropped it. He had it. It was a perfect pass. He bobbled. And now it's 4th and 4.
Well, it started with the first down. False start by Runyon. Put him behind the sticks and just have to make that catch. Outside leverage man. He runs a great route. Love puts it right into his chest.
So the Lions seemingly get their stop, even though you always got to watch for a fake, as Daniel Whelan set to punt it away. The punter who was born in Dublin. See what he's got. End over end, trying to pin the Lions deep, and they will do it. Excellent job by Green Bay. Robert Rochelle kept it from going into the end zone. Excellent special teams, but the Lions and their fans back into it. 23-14.
And they wouldn't let us eat it. I might not even watch the second half.
Well, you eat that. I'll call the game for a little bit. Here are the Lions in the shadow of their own end zone, going to get it to Montgomery as he will run it out of there. So obviously he's okay. Aaron told us he got taped up on his ankle, back in there right now. Greg will take a moment to chew.
If you don't hear from me in a while, it's because I'm stuffing my face with turducken. Of all the John Madden contributions, which are plentiful, I think the turducken introduced to the live broadcast might be his single greatest one.
Oh, no doubt about it. Thank our buddy Glenn Mistich in New Orleans, who he and John became friends, and he still gives our crew the turduckens. Appreciate it, Glenn. Here is Valentine fighting for it with Amon-Ra St. Brown. And St. Brown has to catch. Boy, that was close. They're still fighting for it.
Well, of all the receivers in the league to fight over a contested catch, I'm not sure if you want to pick Amon-Ra St. Brown, and now it's just a fight on the sideline over the ball. Great coverage here by Valentine. Kind of went through his hands, and then it's just the strength of Amon-Ra St. Brown.
That is an unbelievable catch.
Watch him just wrestle this away. We used to see Steve Smith do this, my former Carolina Panther teammate. If you got your hands on the ball as a defender and he got his, you were not winning that wrestling match.
You know, his father, John, was Mr. Universe.
I think that helps. Genetics.
The
genetics.
training.
Yeah.
And it is a first down. How was the turducken?
Delicious. I'm just glad I'm back on the broadcast.
Ben brought you some wipes. Here's Goff, pressure in his face, throws it away. Montgomery was in the area, so no grounding. Kenny Clark, big time pressure that time.
Yeah, Kenny Clark, it seems like even all that, you're going to see him right here. He's working over Glasgow at right guard. He just bull rushes. There's nothing fancy about this. John Madden would be in his glory. Kenny Clark seems like an all Madden type guy, right?
Yeah.
Maybe doesn't have the wow numbers, the sacks, but man, in the interior of this D-line, he is a force.
Look at the pressures on half of his dropbacks against Goff today. Steps and delivers this time. It is St. Brown. Catches it in stride. And he's up to about the 23. It'll be a third down coming up. So now St. Brown starting to heat up. 3 catches in this second half after a quiet first half. He came into today 5th in the NFL in receiving yards. And there's your contested catches number, Greg. 13. Third and 5. Goff has time. Lets it rip. Looking for St. Brown, and it's high and incomplete. He was open. And now the punt team will come on 4th down.
So watch the angle that Amon-Ra St. Brown. Watch how he goes a little flat, and then you see where the ball is. He started thinking he's going to run away from Valentine towards the sideline. Goff is thinking he's going to take the angle high, and that was all the little adjustment that Amon-Ra Brown had him make and just couldn't quite get there. Just not quite on the same page.
Lions have had 2 great drives, and other than that, they've just been a little off today. So Fox, it's a fake on the punt, and they got a way to go, and they're not going to get there. Jalen Reeves-Maybin is tackled short, and the Packers will take over on the 22 of Detroit.
Well, Dan Campbell, he told us, we asked him about his aggressive play call. You see him, hey, it's all right. he is not going to change his identity. This is what they've been since he got here. They're trying to just go snap it here and just get the sideline, but look how wide everybody is. Those are hard reach blocks. He can't get the edge, and then obviously it's just pursuit from the backside, and he wasn't even close.
Boy, that is a gutsy call from your own 23-yard line. They don't get a yard. Lucas Van Ness, the rookie, on the stop, and it. Huge play, and now can the Lions defense answer? Packers with a big opportunity here. Dillon. Going to pick up 3.
Hey, you go back to that fake. Most of the time, KB, when they have fakes on punt team, field goal, there's a check to get out of it. So you green light the fake, and then it's always for a particular look. Again, without knowing the specifics, you see the numbers. He's run the most fakes of anybody in the league, and you'd imagine that look is not exactly ideal. Getting reach blocks with those guys being so wide, you'd like the opportunity to check out of it and just punt it away.
Love spins away, looking, nobody open, going to throw a flag here as Love runs. And he's cut down short of the first down, but this one may be coming back. Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, they got Elton Jenkins. He was out in space. That was pretty clear.
Number 74, offense, 10-yard penalty, second down.
Yeah, he was way out in space. Watch, Quentin Bohanna, he's going 5 yards, calling for the penalty. That's pretty clear.
So that makes it a 2nd down and 17. Packers up by 9, 4.5 to go in this third quarter. On the fake. Love slings it over the middle, and it's caught by Romeo Doubs in traffic. Doubs has 13. It was blanketed by Jacobs.
Watch the body position of Jordan Love when this ball comes out. He's got Jenkins getting pushed back in his face. His hips are going to be sideways. Look, his hips are pointing this way, and he throws that ball between the hashes. The arm talent and the different slots of Jordan Love today. Man, I'll tell you what, he's been impressive.
To be a 3rd down and 3. Going for the end zone for Watson. He's got it. Touchdown, Green Bay.
When they drafted Christian Watson last year, this is what they imagined. A big play, big physical receiver matched up against Jerry Jacobs. That subtle little right hand, that subtle little push creates the separation that he needs, and he saw that one-on-one matchup, and now Green Bay's going to keep the offense on the field, and they're going to go for 2 after we saw Detroit do it on their previous touchdown drive.
Yeah, trying to make it back to a 17-point lead. Wow. So the fake punt gets denied for the Lions. The Packers make them pay as Christian Watson on the touchdown, and now they go for 2. Little trickery, Love out in the route, and Doubs is tackled. Looked like they tried to run the Philly special, but it did not work as Hutchinson was all over it. So the 2-pointer is no good, but this fake punt started it all. The big stop by Green Bay, and then Christian Watson hauling it in, having his best game of the year. Packers up 15. Well, today he's got 250 and 3 touchdowns, the last one to Christian Watson. And now the Lions will start on their own 25. The other story of this game is this: the pressure on Jared Goff has been constant from the Packers.
Yeah, they just haven't been able to match up, and this is one of the best offensive lines in the entire league, KB, especially in pass pro. But we said of the one area of Green Bay that they are healthy and intact, it's along that defensive front. So they knew they had to shoulder the load today with all the moving pieces behind them, and they've shown up.
Yeah, see the pressures, including 2 fumbles and forcing a defensive touchdown that Jonathan Owens returned for a score. So now the Lions down 15. Work to do right over the middle. It's a good start. It's Khalif Raymond who's got himself a first down, and he's up to the 41. Well, Devontae Wyatt just walking off the field, and he's going to be evaluated for a concussion. Big part of that defensive line that's played so well today. So it makes their rotation a little bit smaller for Joe Barry. Here's Gibbs. Well, Black Friday on Fox, that would be tomorrow. You catch Heisman candidate Bo Nix as he leads 6th-ranked Oregon in a huge showdown against bitter rival number 16 Oregon State. It begins tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern on Fox. The Heisman race will be interesting this year. There's a lot of good candidates in there. Nix has played out of his mind lately. 2nd down and 7. Gibbs again. Yeah, the run game has been hard to come by for the Lions today.
They have, and it's been an element of their offense that's been so good. I'd like to see them, the success. Think about the touchdown drive they had to start the 3rd quarter, Kev. It was all 1st and 2nd down pass. Then they got into the run game. Find a way to get back into that. It'll open everything else up along the offense.
Yeah, you saw the play selection. It's about even. One more rush than pass, which is not their norm. Get it out to Raymond in the slot. Gets a block, has a first down. Khalif Raymond, a couple catches here on this drive. Got a good block from Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's something that Dan Campbell told us. Usually why the run game works so well is our receivers love to get out there and block.
Absolutely, and we've seen a couple times this drive. We talked about, will Matt LaFleur stay aggressive? We've seen Green Bay go to more too-high shell, soft zone as the Lions go up tempo.
Hey, let's go little. Hey, little. Hey, Finn. Here we go.
Gibbs. Oh, gets smoked. Looked like there was a hole there, and that one closed up quickly. It was Jonathan Owens with the big hit. He's the one who had the fumble return touchdown earlier.
Well, you just talked about the wide receivers and their willingness to come down. Khalif Raymond actually blocked Owens into Gibbs. He actually was cracking him from the outside in, and if he gets him dug out there, it's even a bigger gain, but great job by Owens filling it and defeating the block.
Yeah, playing today because both starting safeties for the Packers, Rudy Ford and Darnell Savage, are out. Savage has been out for a while, but remains out. Here's Raymond on the flip, looks to get to the edge, and Owens again undercuts him, as he'll be a little short of a first down the final minute of this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, they love those reverse. They love those kind of trick plays, but good job there by Lucas Van Ness. He kind of strung it out and gave Owens a chance to chase it down and at least force them to have to snap this 3rd and short if they choose to, or they could take the rest of the quarter and think this through, but they're lined up.
Gibbs. And he's got the first down. Got a block from Malcolm Rodriguez, who's playing more snaps at fullback today. And that'll end this 3rd quarter. Lions on the move. But after 3, it's 20 seconds on Thanksgiving alone. The Lions start the 4th quarter on the move, but down 15. Here's Goff. Swing back to Sam Laporta, who is in trouble, breaks out of a tackle. But that was a heck of an effort by Kingsley Enagbari to slow him down.
Boy, was it. I mean, they had that thing set up perfectly on the little throwback tight end screen. And if Enagbari, if they get him blocked, and they had about 3 Lions out there in front. Watch, they send him in motion, play action boot. Look how many Lions blockers there are out there, and they just didn't block them.
Here's Goff. Over the middle, Gibbs out of the backfield. Pop, ball is loose and picked up by Detroit. They say incomplete now. So he never actually had it. Reynolds came in to save the day just in case. It'll be 3rd and long.
Yeah, he took a pop there on that little choice route. Let's take a look. Does he ever establish himself having possession?
It's kind of close, no?
It's real close. Anthony Johnson was the one who came and put the hit on him, but he didn't think he established himself with possession. Didn't take a 3rd step or a football move, and they're going to rule it incomplete.
Lions have to get to the 24. Goff coming back on a screen. Gibbs looking for a block, and it gets taken down. Another great play. That time Isaiah McDuffie. And in 4th down, and you figure you got to go here.
Yeah, it's kind of the same idea as the play before. This time they used Amon-Ra St. Brown in the backfield to throw it to Jahmyr Gibbs, and 2 plays in a row. These Green Bay defenders are all over it. Sets up 4th down. It's a big gamble here.
Yeah, Lions 0 for 3 on 4th down today. 4-man rush. Goff has dropped. Sack, ball is out. Packers will take over. Rashawn Gary has his 3rd sack of the day. And the Lions, usually so good on 4th down, 0 for 4 on 4th down today. The pressure for Green Bay continues to tell the story. And a 3-sack day for Rashawn Gary. Green Bay takes over, up 15 here in the 4th.
Take a look here what he sees. See this collision here in the slot by his 2 receivers? It clouds up this little return route. He wants to put the ball on Khalif Raymond. But by the time those inside receivers got out of there, it was a real muddy picture. And you see Joe Barry, the defensive coordinator, his guys, this has been as an impressive defensive performance that we've seen so far here today.
Yeah, they've been excellent. Here's a blitz now on Love, who's in trouble. Tries to get it off, and it's incomplete. But he slings it out there to Ben Sims. How about the day from Rashawn Gary, Greg? He's got a 3-sack game. He's got 2 forced fumbles, and he recovered that fumble. That was actually a turnover. And so a 3-sack game for Gary. And considering how the year started, recovering from that ACL injury last year, he was on a pitch count early in the year, was only playing a handful of snaps each game. And then today on Thanksgiving, 3 sacks, and he's been an absolute menace. And so now it's Love, another blitz. Picked up, Love over the middle, and it is caught. Another tight window, but held on by Malik Heath, who had 1 catch his whole season. He's got 3 today.
And something you have to notice, the ball placement of Jordan Love today. Look at his ability to put the ball on the body of his receivers, KB. The second you extend your hands outside of your framework, the ball is high or it's low. When that guy's draped on your back, that's where you see him rake your hands and break the ball up. But his ability to protect the receiver, contested catch, by putting it on his numbers, he's done that time and time today.
Blitz, and Love in trouble, tries to get it out there, and a receiver in the area as Walker came on with the pressure. Reed was near the area, so shouldn't be grounding and won't be.
Hey, you're going to see, all right, now there's a late whistle here. Everyone's going crazy. The Lions are currently running the ball back, but they eventually got the whistle out there and said it was clearly incomplete.
No foul for intentional grounding. Receiver number 11 is in the area. Game clock at 12:41. 12:41, please.
Yeah, it was clearly incomplete. They brought Tracy Walker on pressure, and originally a nice job there by Patrick, the running back, to pick him up, but Walker kind of spun off the block, and good job there by Love. Twice this drive, facing pressure in his face, getting the ball out. Watch Taylor, he takes it. He kind of spins into it. He saved 2 sacks. That's something Jordan Love is not especially great at, avoiding pressure to sacks. He's done it twice in this possession.
2nd down on the fake, going far side of the field, caught by Heath again, who's having himself a day. Malik Heath, the rookie from Ole Miss, just Love, so calm and collected. He just looks fantastic today. But now a big 3rd down and 5. Pressure from Hutchinson. Love gets it away, throws it up and in incomplete. He almost had it to Jaden Reed. Got his hands on it. Could not bring it in. It was a catchable ball. Tough catch nonetheless.
Yeah, this is a little, they call it a V7 corner. He sells like he's going to run an over route, and then he kind of comes out the backside as he undercuts it and just goes off the hands of Jalen Reed. And at least right now, they're going to line up for this 4th down try. It's like a battle of the 4th down decisions right now.
Yeah, no one's made a single one.
Currently, both teams are over.
See if they actually go for it. They faked it earlier and just got a delay.
Remember what I said earlier about the motions and the shifts?
Yeah, they're doing the same thing. Never know.
Never know.
Delay of game, number 10, offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
And so the Packers will bring on the punt team. So Daniel Whelan to punt it away.
A couple good stops by this Lions defense. I know the scoreboard looks like they've given up a bunch, but remember the journey of getting to 29 points. Multiple failed 4th downs, a bunch of turnovers. This defense has bowed up when they've had to off sudden change.
They have. Fair catch call for. And inside the 10, that's where the Lions will start with 11:52 to go. Fans here have been raucous all day, but they're a little nervous right now. Green Bay up 15. From us to you and your family, happy Thanksgiving. We showed you so many of our hardworking crew today. Lucky to have these guys with us every week. Now the Lions down by 15 here in the 4th quarter. Looking for another late comeback like they had on Sunday, and Goff's in deep trouble. Out of his own end zone, looking to tuck and run, and will do so, and gets wrestled down by Quay Walker right around the 14-yard line. Now, Goff has been under constant pressure here today. And the turnovers have been a thing. They had 4 turnovers as a team. He threw 3 interceptions. But for the Lions fans that are not feeling so great right now, they were down 12 with 3 minutes to go on Sunday, and they won that game.
Yeah, and something Dan Campbell continues to stress to his group is the journey getting there sometimes looks a little different, but learning how to win, learning how to pull games out. Saw it last week. Can they do it again?
Montgomery trucking through the hole, and a 1st down for the Lions.
You don't want to make a habit out of having to play from behind and late game heroics, but listen, on your journey to the playoffs, you want to win the division. It's going to take sometimes ugly performances. Unfortunately for Detroit, it just seems like it's been maybe a few too many of them here in the last couple weeks that have put them behind the 8 ball.
A little bit of confusion with personnel coming back on the field. Now they get it right, and it's a 1st down. Montgomery again, up the middle, sticking with this run. Out across the 23-yard line. Well, we talked about at the beginning, the Lions with an 8-2 record, they've got a real chance to try and get home field in the NFC, right? The Eagles, obviously the best record in the league, 9-1. And you see the 49ers and Cowboys close behind. But the Packers in the hunt, the bottom of that screen, they hold on today. They're 5-6, and they've got a very real chance to be a playoff team, and no one thought that a month ago.
Exactly. How many people thought that was possible just a few weeks back?
Here's Goff. Protected this time. Fires a strike. It's caught by Jameson Williams. Still on his feet. Spinning. Williams down to the 40. And he's finally stuffed there. So a much-needed explosive play for the Lions, and Williams provides it.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond, but it's Jameson Williams who brings the big play, the downfield speed. Blitnikoff winner, dealt with some issues early on, injury, suspension, but as they get him acclimated in this offense, he brings an element down the field they haven't had.
Yeah, he's got 3 NFL touchdowns, Greg. They've all been over 30 yards.
Exactly.
That was a 38-yarder. Here's Goff. Oh, low throw. Tried to get it to Gibbs, but threw it into the dirt. And it's 2nd down. I wonder if you're Ben Johnson, just what you're feeling good about calling without the pressure on Goff. It's been constant from the Packers.
And really, it's coming on all downs. You know, typically you see defenders pin their ears back, kind of like Rashawn Gary did on that last 4th down strip sack, but they're bringing pressure, they're running run stunts, line stunts on 1st and 2nd down, almost treating them like a typical 3rd down plan.
2nd and 10. Goff over the middle, Raymond in stride, and diving down to the 15 is Khalif Raymond.
Yeah, there's something about trailing by 2 scores in the 4th quarter that gets Jared Goff rolling. He puts this one square between the ones, and I like this. When they've gone up tempo in drives, they've had their best success. They've got to finish here in the red zone knowing they need 2 touchdowns and a 2-point.
Give it to Gibbs. Cuts back a couple times, but not much there. Again, it's Jonathan Owens, who had that fumble return touchdown before. Jonathan's wife, someone you may know, Simone Biles, who 4-time gold medal winner. And now Jordan Love just waits. The Lions trying to play comeback kids again. 2nd down and 8. Gibbs slicing through, and boy, that was well played. I thought there was a seam there, and Nixon hit him out of bounds. Don't see any flag. Crowd wanted one.
Yeah, you can hear the crowd. They thought they were going to get a flag there for a late hit. I thought the contact was started in the green. Yeah, his right foot is still in the green. I don't think Owens hit him late. I think that's a good no call, much to the dismay of the fans.
And they stay no huddle. 3rd and 5. Little fake. St. Brown in trouble. Buried. Red all the way. It's Owens again.
I mean, how many times have we said his name today? I mean, he is playing an incredible game. Run support, pass coverage. He is all over. This is not an easy play. Not only taking on Penei Sewell in the kickout block, but taking down one of the best run-after-catch guys in the league, and they're going to go for it again.
4th and 7. This is no easy one. They're 0 for 4 on 4th down today. They got to get to the 5. They got to have it. Goff can't find anyone. Throwing, going end zone. It is incomplete. Looking for Laporta. Stopped on 4th down, a turnover when Goff fumbled, but that was on 4th down, and then stopped on 4th down again. Dan Campbell says, I know I'm aggressive, I'll live with it if it doesn't work. It hasn't worked today at all. And now the Packers with a chance to really salt this away, and they give it to Dillon, who rides it up to the 20, and a gain of 8 on 1st down. Well, join Fox Sports in giving the gift of opportunity this holiday season by supporting nonprofit partner Sports Biz Careers and its efforts to change the lives of underrepresented high school and college students through the sports business. Visit sportsbizcareers.org to learn more and donate.
This Detroit Lions defense cannot afford to give up really more than probably 1 1st down here. You start giving up multiple 1st downs, you're going to start having to use some of these timeouts on defense to stop the clock between the 2 minute. They got to get off the field.
Dillon. And just slamming into bodies. I think he's going to be a little short. Brian Branch came up to make the stop, and now a monumental 3rd down. We're under 6 minutes left.
Yeah, I think you got to sell out. I think if you're Aaron Glenn, you're this Detroit Lions defense, I think you have to sell out. If they beat you on a play-action pass, they try to throw it over your head, so be it.
Remember, Matt LaFleur told us yesterday, I'm upset with how conservative I was at the end of Sunday's game. Does he change it here?
I think if he thought he was in 4 down, maybe closer to midfield, would change his approach, but we're going to find out.
Love gonna run it. No, he's gonna keep it. How about that call? And Love, room to run. He may go the whole way. Sliding down at the 40. He was not conservative, and it pays off for Green Bay. And Jordan Love with a huge run.
Well, they sold out. They just didn't have the quarterback accounted for, and sometimes there's the perfect call at the right time. They're gonna crash off the edge. Anzalone he's thinking Dillon all the way, and the perfect time. We've yet to see them use Jordan Love as a true runner, and what better time than now?
Longest run for Jordan Love in his career. 37 yards on a 3rd and 1. That may just take the hearts out of this Lions team. Now it's Dillon. And he's hitting right away. He's going to lose a yard. Greg, this Lions team is so good on 4th down. They're more aggressive than anyone in the league. Hasn't been their day today, though.
No, it hasn't. And it really was, the fake punt I didn't love. I've always appreciated Dan Campbell. He doesn't shy away from that aggressive nature. And you can't let, when it doesn't work out, change your approach. So to that regard, I appreciate that he stays true. Don't love the fake punt, but listen, in the critical downs on 4th down, it came down to Green Bay made the plays. The pass rush, the coverage, they made the plays when it counted. And a three here by Green Bay makes it a 3-score game, and I'm not sure there's enough time.
Patrick Taylor on the carry, not much there. Yeah, time ticking away, about 3:37 left in this one now. Let's see if the Lions use a timeout. They do not.
Yeah, so right now, the entire approach of Matt LaFleur, you're up by 15. That's still a 2-touchdown game, depending how you want to calculate the 2-point conversion, 50-50. They've got to pick up enough yards here. Yes, a 1st down would be great, but at least put us in a reasonable field goal try. You put this thing to 18. Now it's 3 touchdowns with 3 minutes to go.
Play clock winding down, and now the Packers will call a timeout. Didn't want to take the delay. Sunday, big day of football on Fox as usual. 1 Eastern, Saints and Falcons. It's a big game in the NFC South. At 4, the Browns take on the suddenly surging Russell Wilson's Broncos. Other regional action too. Check for the game in your area. All on Fox. Sean Payton as the Broncos. Everyone thought they were done. Not so fast. And this has been, I think, a stunner to a lot of people. The Lions coming in, their best record since 1962. This city was just so excited for this one. And the Packers have come in and played maybe their best game of the year, as we have an injury. And there is Alex Anzalone, who did not make it off the field, and see him being tended to by trainers. This is a guy that's been through a lot in his career injury-wise. He's had 3 different shoulder surgeries, and maybe having his best year of his career this year, his 7th year in the league. Well, with a 10 to Anzalone, hopefully he's okay as he now is up. Jordan Love, you couldn't ask for more in his first ever Thanksgiving start. How did he do against the legends, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers? What do you think?
Well, that's the trajectory that they're hoping. They're hoping they go Hall of Famer, and I'm not going to put that pressure on Jordan Love, but that's the hope. And tell you what, as this season's gone on, man, this kid is rolling. Straight man, there's no safety in the middle of the field.
Blitz coming, 3rd down, Love floats one, back foot it is, underthrown and incomplete. He tried to get Watson, but didn't have enough mustard on it. And so now Green Bay sends the punt team out.
Yeah, Benito Jones, they went 0 pressure, and Benito Jones, number 94, he was bearing down on Love. You saw him, he kind of threw that off his back foot, or else he had a shot there on Watson to put a dagger in this one. It keeps it, a 15-point game, 2 touchdowns and a 2-point. So they've got the 2-minute, they've got all 3 timeouts. So Detroit's got to go fast. But again, just look back to last week. Very similar situation, very similar time on the clock remaining.
Whelan's punt is a great one. Fair catch inside the 10 by Raymond. And so the Lions have a lot of work to do. 2:46 to play, down 15, all 3 timeouts. And you're right. Last week it was a little different. They were down 12, not 15, but they were down 12, same time on the clock, and they ended up winning that game. Can they do it again?
Your goal here is, as an offense, you always want to take your timeouts on defense. So knowing you need 2 possessions, how fast can you go down and score? You'll use the 2-minute to stop the clock. That way, if you don't get an onside kick and you have to go on defense, you can use your timeouts to to try to buy that second possession.
Stunt coming. Goff sees it underneath. St. Brown has the catch, has the first down, out of bounds, out across the 20. Good start for Detroit. Jared Goff today has been pressured nearly half the times he's dropped back. He's lost 3 fumbles. One of them has been returned for a touchdown by Jonathan Owens. It's Jordan Love and this Green Bay defense. Can the Lions flip the script here? Blitz coming. It's picked up. Near side, Laporta's got the catch and wisely turns it upfield and out of bounds across the 30.
Yeah, good start here early. Green Bay's going to want to try as much as they can without getting soft inside, as they want to protect the edges, tackle Detroit inbounds. Get this thing under the 2-minute warning. Don't allow Detroit to run too many offensive plays on the plus side of the 2-minute. Get it underneath it. Now if they want to stop the clock, it's got to be with one of their timeouts.
4-man rush. Still some pressure. Goff delivers incomplete. Reynolds kind of behind him there. And 3rd and 4.
It looked to me like he wanted Reynolds to kind of settle in that. That's why the ball ended up kind of being behind him. He's thinking zone, settle, man, run away, and just got a little mixed up.
It's been the kind of day it's been, right, for these Lions?
Yeah, just miss. Just a lot of just misses.
3rd down. Goff pumps, throws, Gibbs. And he's not. Ooh, it's close. That second effort, very, very close. I'll see where they put the ball down, but the clock is running. And he is short.
Yeah, this is where every team in the league wishes they had Philly's brotherly shove. They're going to be in the gun here, so obviously that's not going to happen.
This is the game. 4th down. Goff taps it, throws it, and the drive continues. That'll be a first down to Gibbs, and that'll take us down to the 2-minute warning. Lions need some help. We get what they do, and better than all, they're just great people.
No.
Thanks, guys. We love you. Lions 2 minutes ago, down by 15. Looking for a Thanksgiving miracle, and underneath, and that'll run the clock to Laporta. Going to pick up 5 yards, so they need more than that. 3 timeouts at their disposal.
Yeah, you got to imagine at some point you take a shot. Give Jamison Williams, give him a deep ball, let him go. That's what got them back in it, the quick strike last week in the come from behind.
4-man rush. Over the middle, there is Gibbs. Looking like he's trying to sprint out of bounds, but he's trying to pick up the first down. Did he get there? He's not at the first down, and they're going to run the clock.
Oh, I think they stopped it. I think they said he got out of bounds. Oh, they're winding it now.
Yeah.
Saying he did not get the ball out of bounds, so this is going to stay winding. His knee was in bounds.
Coming up next, State Farm postgame show. The $10,000 donation will be given the NFL to youth or high school football program of their choice in honor John Madden and his legacy. Here's Goff firing far side. Now the first down. St. Brown is definitely out of bounds. So the 1st and 10 with 1:10 to go. So now let's look at this NFC North. Lions, look, they're still in a good place, obviously, if they don't come back here 8-3. Minnesota's been playing well, but Green Bay, if they could go to 5 wins, there's no reason why they can't be a playoff team. Minnesota currently holds the final spot. And for Detroit, or for Green Bay, they've got KC next. Obviously won't be easy, but then the Giants, Tampa, Carolina after that.
Yeah, just think if they can get healthy.
I know. Here's Goff. More pressure on him, just struggling to get rid of it, and it's low and incomplete.
You know, just think if this Green Bay team could just figure out how to get some guys back healthy, especially on defense and running back. But again, we've seen this time and time again today.
Ooh.
Wow, he's got him by the back of the collar.
Just hope he's all right. He went down so awkwardly
wow,
there.
you see his left leg got in there. I don't know why that's not a horse collar. Determine if he's outside the pocket or not, but those are the ones they're trying to take away from hits on the quarterback. And they're going to have to start throwing this ball in the middle of the field. Forget the timeouts. Just working the boundary too much here. It's taking too much time.
A penalty, and so this may be moving back even more as that throw is incomplete.
Yeah, they're just running out of gas now.
Holding, number 77 offense. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
So he told you about the Packers' upcoming schedule and their chance and path to a wild card spot, which they clearly have. The Lions look like this. So they'll still be in first place today. Got the Saints, Bears, Broncos, 2 with Minnesota. Could end up doing Green Bay a favor at the end of the year. You never know. And then Dallas is the big game for them. And Detroit, even with a loss today, look, they're still in play for that top seed in the NFC. This one's going to sting if they don't get a miracle here. Second down and 20. Goff underneath. St. Brown is wide open, looking to make a move, and does. It's a great move as a first down and gets out of bounds with 52 seconds left.
Yeah, nice job there by St. Brown. He knew Ballantyne was trying to keep him in bounds. He really overplayed the sideline. Watch 35 Ballantyne. He's overplaying the sideline, thinking vice tackle, and Amon-Ra St. Brown is so good with the ball. I mean, they still got their 3 timeouts. I just think they have to still be willing to throw the ball in the middle of the field, especially with these 2 high safeties. Chunk plays right now are more important than getting out of bounds.
This time Goff has time, lets it rip over the middle, caught by Raymond, and he holds on. There you go. There's the big play. Gonna have to call a timeout, and they will.
Yeah, there you go. That's, you know, early on you want to try to save them, but now you're getting down to the point where yards are more important. They got to score quick here, and that was a chunk they needed.
Yeah, so that's where we got Lions still hoping to pull off this late rally. They need a lot of help here, and we say again, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Do you feel differently about Green Bay now after watching this game than you did coming into today?
I do, and I think the scary thing is, as these young guys on offense really start getting their feet underneath them, we saw Christian Watson break out. Jordan Love is playing the best ball clearly of his young career.
Yeah.
But then think of the guys they have coming back who didn't play today on defense. Jair Alexander, Devondre Campbell. I mean, they start getting the veteran guys back, especially on defense. This is a team that's going to find themselves in that playoff picture at least for a wild card.
Yeah, and they think that Aaron Jones with that knee injury hopefully won't be out long. It was feared it could be a long time out. Now they don't think so. Right now they're trying to close out the Lions with 46 seconds left. And we get a whistle. Now the Packers call a timeout. Well, if you just turned us on, maybe you just got done with the turkey. Here's what you have missed so far today. It is Jordan Love, just unbelievable game for him. He played great. He got off to a hot start. They scored a couple touchdowns on their first 2 drives, and the defense chipped in. Rashawn Gary with the strip sack. Jonathan Owens returned the fumble for a touchdown. The Lions, so good on 4th down normally, have been an 0 for today. And then back to Watson. Love, who has just been so good in his Thanksgiving debut. Love 3 touchdowns today, coming off a career best game last week. 268 yards. Rashawn Gary has 3 sacks. That's a career high for him. That's a story. 46 ticks left. Goff over the middle. It is caught for the touchdown. Josh Reynolds, there's a penalty flag. So wait a second. And it looks like it was offside. This is going to count. The Lions aren't done just
offside,
yet.
Number 97, defense. Penalties declined. Results of the play. Touchdown.
Yeah, this is where we talked about this middle. They're playing 2 high safety zone. Just a little one-on-one ricochet route there off Quay Walker, the Mike backer, and ball's on time in rhythm, and he's able to protect the throw by being on time. Now they'll go for 2, try to make this a 7-pointer, and obviously we'll have an onside kick coming up here in a little bit.
Well, need this to even have the onside kick mean anything. Gotta go quick. Goff over the middle, fires, and the 2 is good. So, 7-point game. Here comes the onside kick.
Yeah, nice little sit route here. Just telling the Laporta to get across the goal line. I'm going to stick it on you. And again, well-timed balls. They've come alive in these no-huddle situations. Just have to wonder if it's a little, too late.
Well, the Lions staying alive, at least for now. Laporta gets in on the 2. Reminder of State Farm postgame coming your way next. The John Madden Player of the Game presentation as well.
Remember, they had to use after the deep dig route completion a few plays ago. Detroit did have to take one of their timeouts, so It pretty much all comes down to this. They can't stop it 3 times. So if Green Bay recovers it, they'll take 3 knees, and that'll be it.
Lions are 0 for 1 on onside tries this year. This will be Jack Fox who kicks off for them. His opportunity. Got to go 10 yards. Squibber. And Jaden Reed gets on it. The Packers take over, and they will win this game. But hang on, penalty on this play. Let's see this first. Packers offense coming on the field. Well, it looks like this play is going to hold.
Illegal formation, number 21 of the kicking team left early prior to the kick. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play, first down.
Yeah, with the new rules, they've made getting recovering an onside kick so difficult with where they make you line up. You can't overload. You have to have a certain amount of guys outside the numbers. You can't leave until it's kicked. They've really changed what we're accustomed to seeing, and what a win on the road, short week. Bunch of your top players not playing. You got to tip your cap. Matt LaFleur, this Green Bay organization, what a great job getting this group ready to come play this road game on Thanksgiving.
Clearly the win of the year, and you look at Green Bay, they've now won 3 of their last 4 games. First win against the Lions since week 2 of 2021. It's been a while there, and I think if you're a Packers fan at home today, you're thinking, oh, maybe we do have our quarterback of the future.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Love, sensational. 268 yards, 3 touchdowns today. And the Green Bay defense, the story, and an upset here in Detroit on Thanksgiving. 29-22, the final. More to do here from Detroit. The Packers in a stunner, and they're right in the playoff mix. We'll wrap it up when we come back.